1, 2, 3.
It's always very exciting to come and participate in a Siyum Rambam, in the conclusion of another study cycle of the Rambam. And doing so from Thailand, I'd like to start with a lighter story of things that go on here in daily life. We run a restaurant, we run several restaurants at our Chabad house. And when people come in, they look through the whole menu, and they'll look through the Thai kosher dishes and the Chinese style dishes, and they'll look and look and look, and then they'll come, schnitzel, chips, and salad, please, which is what they could have had in Israel. They didn't have to travel to Thailand to get schnitzel, chips, and salad. But, of course, we know that people like familiarity. People like things they're familiar with, that they're used to. Why am I telling you a story about schnitzel, chips, and salad when we're talking about finishing the Rambam? But here's the point. One of the missions and the purposes of studying Rambam, the Rebbe explained, is to unite the Jewish people so that we're all studying one topic at all times, so that Jews can come from any part of the world and gather together, meet each other, and all know that they're learning something in common. That's tremendously unifying. And there is a special excitement when it comes to this year of Hakel. You see, what's unique about the Rambam, that Rebbe pointed out, is that the Rambam wrote his book in a way that there's no need for any other background other than coming straight from the Torah shebichtav, coming from the written Torah, immediately to the book of Rambam, who distills all the wisdom of the stages and presents it in a way, kakaton kakadol, in a way that it's accessible to young and old, to great scholars and to lesser scholars. And this is amazingly unifying because everybody has access to the exact same material in the exact same way. And don't forget, we're talking about Jewish law. The difference between Jewish law and Jewish philosophy or theology, for example, is when it comes to philosophy, everybody has a different understanding. Everybody has a different capacity for being able to perceive. People process the information differently. When we come to Jewish law, halakha is to tell us how to conduct ourselves, how Almighty God wants us to actually live our lives. And when it comes to the way we live our lives, there's no difference in terms of our actions, whether we are katan, whether we are small in understanding, or gadol, or great in our understanding. The actions will be the same. So when we all learn the same laws, okay, we're all learning halakha, law, which is unifying because it tells us how we have to act, and all of us act identically. When we're all learning the same laws, so around the world we're united in the same topic of study, and this is something that we study, not just men, not just women, and not just children. All men, women, and children are participants in this study. So that for those that have a greater capacity, they study the 3 chapters of the Rambam. Those that have a lesser capacity study 1 chapter. And those that have an even lesser capacity, they study the book of the mitzvahs. But it's accessible to all in their own level. And this year, the concept of Jewish unity takes an even more dramatic and exciting, is taken to an even more dramatic and exciting level. For on this year, we are in the year of Hakel. The year where in the times of the Holy Temple, the king would gather the entire Jewish nation, men, women, and children, and speak to them about their relationship with God, V'yaru et Hashem Elokechem, and about their commitment to mitzvahs. And so on this year, where all men, women, and children gathered, it's called the year of Hakel, the year of gathering, and it has special opportunities for us to gather together and become united as one. Now, that's in any gathering, and we are encouraged to have. The Rebbe taught us that this year is a year where the opportunities abound to make gatherings and to have successful gatherings. Try it, you'll see. But particularly when we talk about gathering together for a Siyum HaRambam, for celebrating the completion of a study cycle of a joint study across the world, a study about action, halacha, activity, which we all do identically, and a study pattern that is accessible for young and old, for learned or non-learned, and as the Rambam says, the manner in which he writes his book makes it accessible to all. So on this occasion of a unifying study during a unifying year, the effect that we can have is tremendous. So for those that have studied and finished the cycle, Mazel Tov on your completion of the Rambam. And for those that are listening in and have yet to begin, this is the year to really take the message of unifying yourself with the entire Jewish people in study, and may this be the precursor to the ingathering of exiles, Kahal Gadol Yashuvu Heina, as the Prophet promises, a great community, the entire Jewish community, will come back here to Jerusalem, the holy city, with the coming of Mashiach Tzidkenu. Amen. Thank you very much.